Welcome everybody to Adam's Wednesday live video. Sorry we weren't here the last 2 weeks. I'm out of practice, so hopefully I don't screw this up. But we got a 67 VW Bus Deluxe here today. And as you can see, I'm not gonna call it a garage queen, but it's kind of like your weekend cruiser. And so it's actually my good friend Tyson, who sells homes for a living, and a lot more, and probably the most eccentric guy I've ever met. But Tyson was here last week, foam this whole thing down, drench it with water, because cars from this era, they don't do an amazing job at getting rid of the water. You can see it has like gutters on the top, so with vintage cars, it's also not getting so dirty that you need to foam it down and wash it and do all this stuff. So, Adams Polishes has some pretty cool products, but it's more like the process I want to show you that we can really make this look amazing. And it already clean, but it's been caught in the rain. So it has like a lot of dust and stuff from being caught in the rain. But really what I see the potential out of is like some of these metal accents, like these rings around the headlights and turn signals, as well as like on the mirrors, even the hubcaps on the wheels. And also you can see like the tires have also started to discolor. So with the white walls and the browning on the tires, like we can help fix that to make it look really good again. So we're gonna go through, I grabbed like a few products to kind of work on, and then I'll just really, our goal and the point of this video is Tyson has a car show this weekend, but kind of the idea of this video is like, what's something you can do, maybe throughout the week, or maybe like on a Thursday night or something, to like get it ready in your garage or in your driveway, and then like it's presentable on the weekend when you take it out with your family, and you park it next to a coffee shop or cafe, and all the people are like, oh my gosh, this is such a cool VW bus. It's like, yeah, and it looks good. So so that's essentially the process we're going to go through. Before I get started, I just want you guys to know too, like our pumpkin spice is live right now, Pumpkin Spice 2025. So make sure you go check that out on the website. Also, we just launched a giveaway for today. So we have a standard deionizer. I think it's valued at like close to $450, but we're giving one of those away with any purchase of a mystery bucket for pumpkin spice. So any one purchase of it, like essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna take all the orders that have been bought of a mystery bucket, and we're gonna choose one, and we're gonna throw it in with the order, not necessarily throw it in, but we're gonna ship it with the order. So with any one mystery bucket purchase, you have a chance to win a standard deionizer. So pretty cool giveaway. I think, the deionizers, once you get the initial tank and everything, the refill is pretty cheap. So the initial investment's a lot, but once you have it, you pretty much have a spot for your rents for the rest. You switch the resins out. So, and then as always in the live, this is your inside access to us. So if you have questions about, the process I'm doing, or if you have questions about graphene or anything else, make sure you put it in the comments. Chris will ask the question, and we'll address those the best we can. And if you have other questions too about pumpkin spice or anything else, what I'll do is kind of at the end of this, we'll go in and I'll show like the fall apparel, like this crew neck. We did a little bit more like generic instead of like pumpkin spice themed. It's very, very fall themed. So something like, I'm going to wear this forever. It's not something that like it says pumpkin spice, I'm going to wear it just only in the fall. So, so getting into it, I kind of talked about a few things that we can address. And, I think realistically, the first thing you probably want to do is you want to waterless wash it. Okay. And so I actually have 2 bottles of waterless wash. I've got detail spray and spray wax. I think today I'm actually going to use spray wax because I kind of just want a little bit thicker of a product to go on to add a little bit more shine. And then tire and rubber cleaner to address kind of the rubber on the car And then we have some interior things. And then I have some glass polish and metal polish. So I noticed on Tyson's car, like, I think this is original glass, to be honest, and it could use a freshen up with the glass polish. So we'll do that here in just a little bit. But first, waterless wash is kind of the place I want to start. And actually I have the waterless wash towels right here. So what I like to do with waterless wash is I like to saturate the front a lot before, and I'll show you kind of what I'm going to do. But to start, I'm just going to blast down the front with a little bit, maybe too much product. I wouldn't consider it too much, but you want to oversaturate it because there's bug guts, and because of the way this car is shaped, the front is hands down the most dirty. So really what we're kind of doing is pre-treating.
What's the American Boy one says, what's the difference between spray wax and detail spray?
Spray wax and detail spray, they're not very different. They're a similar concept of a product, but the actual spray wax has like liquefied carnauba wax in it, and it's a little bit thicker. Like, actually, when I grabbed this product, all the carnauba wax was settled at the bottom, and I had to shake it up. So you can almost see it almost like is like a milky consistency. So there's actual wax in here. So like when it comes out and you work it onto the car, it leaves a thin layer of wax on there. So it actually enhances the shine a little bit more. Whereas detail spray, it has just like barely a little bit of wax. You can almost see it at the bottom there. But really where the shine comes from with this is a little bit more silicone and some other things. And with detail spray being more of a quick detailer, it's kind of a mix between like waterless wash and then like something to enhance shine. And so with spray wax being a little bit more thick with like more wax content in it, it goes on and it almost gives like a deeper finish to the car. But because it does have some protection in it, like if I use spray wax on here and then I want to go, graphene ceramic coat it, I have to get that off before I do that. Whereas detail spray, you don't really need to do that. So
because it doesn't really build up on the surface.
yeah, and like my suggestion to Tyson would be like during the week, like today on Wednesday, like put a nice layer of spray wax on there. And then like if he takes it to a car show or he takes it out or before he takes his Saturday cruise, like hit it with detail spray really quick, or when it comes back to his house, then hit it with detail spray to just like keep the shine going. So they're just a little bit different. I think a couple other products you could use, which are favorites on the live especially, is like graphene detail spray. If I was inside in the shade, I would for sure use graphene detail spray. Out here in the sun, because it has protection in it, it's gonna dry and then it's gonna get streaky, and I definitely don't want that. Whereas spray wax and detail spray, they're not really gonna streak as much.
Dan also mentioned that the newest or current version of spray wax also has a small amount of SiO2 infused in it.
Then this is the most updated version of spray wax, so it has like a touch of SiO2 in it, so helps the protection last a little bit longer. So I pre-treated the front, and because it's a little bit warmer out here, it's like almost dry already, which it's fine. I don't care if it's dry or not. But essentially the way I would do this, and by the way, Tyson made a deal with me that he's gonna do the other half. I'm just gonna do one half. So like realistically the way this works is I would pre-treat the front. I would even maybe hit these mirrors because they get bug guts on this too. And then what I would do is I would start on this, it doesn't matter what side, but I would start on one side and I would start doing the waterless washing process along the car like this, all the way to the back. And then where I'm starting today is as if I have already done some of the waterless washing process over there. And I'm gonna start here. So once I get done finishing kind of your standard waterless washing process, I get back to the front and I continue it. But because I pre-treated it, it's gonna pull away the heavy dirt and bug guts and everything without scratching, because I pre-treated it to pull that stuff away.
Since the front of the vehicle is in the sun right now, are you worried about waterless wash drying onto the surface?
I'm not worried about waterless wash drying on the surface. And the reason being, it's like designed to do that. So you'll see, like once we get back there, it will have dried. But the thing we have to realize is the waterless wash with the surfactants in it, it has like encapsulated everything. And so when I go back and I spray it and I wipe it, I'm gonna be able to pull that off a lot easier, okay? So with your waterless wash towels, I have 2 with me today. I'm gonna take this towel, I'm gonna fold it once, twice, and then a 3rd time, okay? And you'll see, like, as I do this process, how we manage each one of these panels as we go through. But the goal right now is not to make this perfect. My goal right now is just to get the dirt off of the car. So like, I don't care if it's streaky right now, 0. So yeah, the waffle weave will help grab on to the dirt and pull it off. So it's like a very much like designed towel to go with waterless wash, and that's why the towel is purple and waterless wash is purple. So we'll spray waterless wash on here.
Do you want an off-topic question? How do you do this?
Yeah, let me just explain this really quick.
Yeah, no worries.
So I like to spray a decent amount, and then I'm gonna hold the towel with the open side, open fold in like the palm of my hand. Because if I hold it this way, this could potentially like flip over. So I wanna keep it closed like that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag and wipe. I'm gonna wipe and roll my hand at the same time. So it's kind of like, I start like this, and as I start wiping, I start rolling my hand like that. So you can see it's like I hit it in like this one line right here. So just keep going like that, wipe and roll.
And what's the purpose of the roll?
The roll just allows like a fresh part of the towel to touch the car as you go. But up here, it's not too dirty. Like this actually looks pretty good. I have just a little bit of dirt kind of like right here. So what I'm gonna do now is I'll move more to this part where I start the wipe. Like so. Like that. Still not quite that dirty. I'm not like too worried about it because waterless wash provides a lot of lubrication. And so with a lot of lubrication, it helps prevent scratching. So see how this is pretty dirty now. Can you see that? Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is instead of continuing to use this, I'm gonna flip this over to the fresh side. And now what I can do is do the same process as I just take this, kind of roll and wipe as I go, trying to use the freshest part of the towel that I can. Like that.
Will you try to do like the glass before the paint or anything like that?
Not in this case. Again, like I think like thinking about it that way would be like we're trying to avoid getting streaks. But in this case, like the waterless wash isn't my finishing product today. The spray wax is. So any sort of streaks I get on here from waterless wash, I'm gonna finish that up with spray wax eventually. And so I'm not worried about the appearance right now with doing waterless wash. I'm just worried to get the dirt from on the car and onto the towel. That's it. That's the only thing I'm worried about right now. So I have a couple of little fresh spots of the towel. So I'm just gonna spray a little bit more. And I'm just gonna take this, wipe and roll. Okay, that's definitely more. I'm gonna go to this side of the towel.
Rodney says that beautiful bus looks like it's coated.
I don't think it's coated. Yeah, I don't think it's ceramic coated. I think,
If you don't know, then it's not.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that Tyson has used CS3 on this. And so CS3 is probably the thing that's on here. So you can see now how dirty this side of the towel got. So now what we do is this side of the towel is dirty, this side of the towel is dirty. So I just take it, open it, and fold it onto itself like that. So I have a whole nother fresh panel, and I just keep going like this.
Do you want to off-topic question?
Yeah, we'll take an off-topic question now.
Ken Wilson says, what are the shampoos you like to mix and match in your foam cannon and bucket, and others you prefer using both?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, Ken. And I think when it comes to like car soaps, you know, there's a lot on the market, not including ours, and it's very confusing. And I think like what Alvin Polishes has done with our soap lineup is that we've created a lot of purpose around the soaps that we offer. And so, you know, I think like as a standard wash, like our regular car shampoo is really, really good just as like your standard car wash soap. And you can use it out of the foam cannon, but it doesn't suds up very much. Whereas like Mega Foam, you know, it's like, you know, not to call out a brand from a different industry, but it's like Barbasol. Like if you've ever seen like the white shaving cream, like I think my dad used to use that. I was more of a Gillette guy with like the Gillette gel. What was their slogan? I can't remember, but it was pretty good. I think that's why I used it.
The best something.
Gillette, the best a man can get. See, they got me.
Jingles.
I'm telling you, Adams Polishes needs a jingle, like desperately. Yes.
Joe's been advocating for this for years.
You have no idea. The Tree Farm, American Furniture Warehouse, Rocky's Auto, all the best. I still remember the jingles from my hometown. This one mechanic shop was like, you gotta see the boys at Roy's. Every time I heard it on the radio, I'm like, we have to go there. Okay, so
we should.
Before
if anybody has any brilliant ideas for jingles, put them in the comments.
Yeah, or if you watch this and you are someone who makes jingles, please reach out to us.
Anton says happy birthday.
Oh, thanks, Anton. I'm like even older now than I was when my birthday was like 2 weeks ago, but yeah.
But we haven't been on since then.
Yeah, exactly. So I now have multiple sides that are very dirty. So all I'm gonna do is, instead of folding it onto itself, I'm gonna open it up and then take it, unfold it, and then fold that onto itself. And Kim Wilson, I'm gonna answer your question here in a second, but when I open the towel all the way, you can see essentially like where I've soiled the towel with dirt and grime. Can you see that, Chris?
Yep.
So you can see this whole side is clean still, but these panels I've used already, and if I flip over the towel again, this whole side is clean as well, right? So I want to maximize the surface of both sides of the towel to get the dirt from on the car and into the towel. So I'll take this and I'm going to fold it this way now. So I'm still on one single side of the towel. I'm pretty sure like the way the math comes out is for both sides of the towel, you get essentially 16 panels that you can use to get the dirt off of the car. But getting back to the car soap question, you know, I think for me, if I have it, I'll use Mega Foam out of my foam cannon because it foams so well and it kind of dwells and sits there. And then I'll use car shampoo in my bucket. But, you know, I think the cool thing about Adams Polishes is like when my car's coated, if it rains and there's road oil on my car, instead of using Mega Foam in the foam cannon and in the bucket, I just use graphene shampoo in the foam cannon and in the bucket to use the power of the kind of the degreasing power, I guess you could call it, of that to get the road oil off of the car. And so, you know, and then again, like if I'm, you know, in Ken Wilson doesn't have this because he lives in beautiful Southern California, but in Colorado we get all of the different seasons. And so, you know, in the winter, it snows here, and then the CDOT, which is Colorado Department of Transportation, they come through and they put magnesium chloride all over the road to melt the snow so it's safe for people to drive, which is like a totally normal thing. And like even in some other areas, they're using like straight up salt. Like it's really bad for your car. And so in that case, I will use, maybe it kind of depends on what's going on, but I've even in winter used strip wash and graphene strip wash in my foam cannon and graphene shampoo in my bucket. You know, so I'm really using them as tools. Like the strip wash is breaking down the magnesium chloride and the salts and the extra road grime, and then like graphene shampoo is like degreasing. You know, so I'm using kind of the power of both to do that. I actually missed the whole top, so that's good. But yeah, I think like, you know, Ken Wilson, like the idea around like our car soaps is they serve different purposes. And so, you know, I think the thing you have to consider is like, what is the priority at the time when you're going to wash your car. Like, how is your car reacting, or like how dirty is it? And, you know, I'd say like, especially in Southern California where Ken Wilson lives, like having graphene shampoo, even if your car is not ceramic coated or graphene ceramic coated, I think graphene shampoo is a great tool because, you know, it doesn't rain very much there. So the amount of exhaust that hits the ground and the amount of oil leaks that people have that's on the ground, you know, the 1 of 3 times it rains in Southern California, it's gonna really like mix, the rain's gonna mix in with that, and there'll just be road oil all over your car, you know. And I know Ken Wilson's car is, he's crazy about his car, his Tacoma, and so he, you know, for him, he has a black car, and so he has it graphene ceramic coated, and that road oil is going to clog his ceramic coating. So graphene shampoo is a really good option to have after it rains.
American Boy 1 says strip wash is taking off product buildup as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, strip wash is mainly yes, it's going to take off product buildup as much as, you know, as much as there is. You know, I think if like you're using detail spray consistently, it's not building up too much. But I would say like strip wash is another tool for even like professional detailers who get a car in and they don't necessarily know the protection that's on the car. You know, you could get a car in that's ceramic coated, or you could get a car in has been waxed over the years. You could get a car in that has, you know, a polymer sealant on it, and strip wash is going to remove any wax or sealant that's on the car. And so, so yeah, like if you're needing to do that before you detail a car, strip wash would be the thing that you use. So I've done this whole side, and actually I think it looks a little bit better.
Seriously, that's great.
The windows look better for sure. But as we make our way, we get back to the front, and now I'm essentially doing the same process I was doing on the side. And so we'll just rehydrate the dried waterless wash that was on here, and then take the towel, just go over it like this. What was that like kind of independent style movie that came out with like Steve Carell? It's like Hello Sunshine or something. That's what this reminds me. Little Miss Sunshine. Was it yellow though?
Yeah.
That's right. That was a great movie.
I forgot Steve Carell was in that.
Yeah.
I've seen that in a while.
Not Steve Carell, Michael Scott. Sorry.
Oh. That makes more sense.
Yeah, get it right, you know. So you can see like just, you know, because of the pre-treating it, you know, one single wipe with all the bug guts and they like come off, you know. So pre-treating, it's pretty important, especially on the dirtiest parts of the car.
Chester says he goes through 3 towels for waterless wash because he overuses the product.
Yeah. Chester, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Chester.
Thanks, Chester.
Keep buying more so Joe and I can stay here.
Yeah, it almost like just needed a little bit of a wipe down, but I think part of like what we're trying to do for Tyson too, as much as we're gonna treat this as like, you know, he's gonna go out for a Saturday or Sunday drive, he is going to a car show. So our goal is to get it to a point where he comes back with some hardware.
That's right.
You know?
Chester says I just did my 1 year clean after coating, and it's still killing it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's great. Yeah. You know, the thing about, I'm going to make a point about that because, like, Chester's pretty religious about cleaning his car.
Yeah, I'm sure he maintains it.
Yeah, he maintains it. But I think, like, Chester could comment on here. But I think the cool thing about what Chester does is, like, he realizes that, you know, the best, not that he could articulate it the way I'm going to say it, but, like, the best way to maintain a ceramic coated vehicle is to like consistently clean it. You know, the more you clean it, the more you keep up with it, the better the ceramic coating is going to perform. Because ceramic coatings, as much as people want to sell it to you as like a set it and forget it kind of a product, it's just not that way. And realistically, like the ceramic coating is a tool to make cleaning easier. And so like probably Chester could talk on here, but like, or he could comment on here. And, you know, I bet for him, his car wash routine, as much as he does it, is very efficient and easy because of the ceramic coating tool that's on his car, you know? So, yeah.
Aaron
Crable, yeah.
Says, do you guys know what car show? Is it down to earth at the football stadium?
Oh, do you know what car show it is, Tyson? Broomfield Days.
Saturday. Oh, okay.
Oh, right there on like Main Street?
Midway, I've been to that.
Midway.
Like, Wadsworth.
I live like 5 minutes away.
Dude, I'll see you Saturday.
Yeah. By the way, Broomfield Days is super fun.
Yeah.
Like it's just a good time all around.
It's always a good time.
There's a 100% guarantee that Kona Ice will be there.
Yes, you're right. So real fast, Joe, how much does the bottle of that cost?
A bottle of the Waterless wash,
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's about $10.
Right. So instead of just going and getting a water wash for $10, the cheapest one you can get.
Yeah.
If you just buy this and have a rag, you can get 2 washes out of your car.
Yes, I love that. I love that point. Yeah, Tyson's kind of making the point that like, you know, this bottle is worth is $10. It costs you $10. If you get it on sale, like pumpkin spice, where it's 25% off your whole order, you can even get it for cheaper. And you know, especially on a car like this, you know, I would never take this through a drive-through car wash. Like that is just like big mistake because it's a nice looking car. And by the way, if you guys are at Broomfield Days and you need a VW bus, Tyson has a pretty specific price in mind.
That's right.
But like he's saying, like, you know, probably on this, I probably would end up using like a whole bottle. I've used half of a bottle. And I did this side and the front. And I probably overused it a little bit. But for $10, you know, you can essentially clean your whole car without, you know, it's going to look. So I like the way that you put that. Because I think...
I'm frugal, Joe. I'm frugal.
No. I love that. Efficient, yeah. So this whole side in the front is now waterless wash. I got all this stuff off of it, right? The one thing I will say before I get into the spray wax, what I do want to do is address some of the other things. Okay, so I essentially, like, instead of, if I go and do spray wax right now and then I go polish the glass and then I polish the metal, then I have to do spray wax again in those areas. So what I want to do is take the necessary steps forward and none backwards. So what I'm going to do is start addressing like the rubber and the rubber all around this bus. And then if I get a little bit of black residue like on the paint, then I'll just come back with, on the last part where I do spray wax, I'll just even everything out and then I'll be done with it. So I don't want to spray wax, then do all this and then go back and have to do that all again. So I would say like getting the dirt off of the car is really important, but not making it perfect is okay right now because we're going to go fix a couple other things. So let's see, actually, maybe let's try some glass polish first. I kind of like that idea because the reason why I'm going to do glass polish first is if I go and polish the glass here and I get some chalkiness into the rubber, I'll end up fixing that with iron rubber cleaner after that, right? So again, taking steps forward, not backwards. And so for the glass polish, I like to have an edgeless utility towel and I like to have a gray microfiber applicator, and then I have the glass polish. Now, the thing about glass polish, it's a little bit different. It has a more unique abrasive in it. The other thing about it is it has some water spot removing capabilities to it. And so it's very, very much designed for glass. So you don't need a ton. I kind of like to outline.
And it's designed just for use with an applicator and not a polisher, right?
You can use it with a polisher, but I wouldn't run it at a high speed. You don't really want the polish to like dry out super fast. And so if you are going to use it with a machine, like setting 2, 3 at the most, but like setting 1 and 2 is fine. The abrasive in it does a lot of the work. And so, and I'll say this, glass polish is designed not to remove like deep scratches. It's designed to bring clarity to the glass. Okay, so
Aaron wants to know if you're going to be at the tent sale this weekend.
Am I going to be at the tent sale this weekend? You know what, Aaron? I'm not sure. I might. I gotta look at my schedule, but I have a kid reality, and I think my daughter has soccer and my son has football all the way up in Loveland, and so I might not be able to swing it this weekend, unfortunately. But I really, really want to be here. Yeah, I'm glad Aaron said that, because there is, if you're local to Colorado, there's a tent sale happening this weekend, and essentially it's like you can see there's like pallets of stuff everywhere, especially in the what's it called, Chris, the detail bay. And essentially it's like maybe returned items, maybe the packaging was damaged in transport, and so it's like heavily discounted Adams Polishes products. So if you're local, you can really take advantage of, especially if you're getting like big ticket items like carts or polishers and pressure washers, stuff like that. It's a really good opportunity to get that stuff at a low cost.
Dan said, pro tip, never use glass polish on paint or piano black plastic. It's for glass only.
Okay. Thanks, Dan. I'm gonna go like this. I like to outline it like this first. And then I like to almost like, I'm not like filling it in, but like go up and down like this, and then like side to side. And it just doesn't require a lot. Like you'll see after I wipe this away, like the clarity looks pretty good. I actually need to jump inside and polish the glass inside, which I'll save for a little bit later. But it feels more slick and a little bit better.
While we were talking about the tent sale, Chester said, who would ever return anything?
Who would ever, yeah. Chester, you'd be surprised, man. People, like, we get returns and the product is perfectly fine. And it's like, for us, it's way more of a hassle to like just try to get it back into inventory. So we just put it on a pallet, and then it ends up into the tent sale. So a lot of the products, it could be as simple as somebody orders a 12 millimeter polisher, the 3-inch polisher, and our shipping team accidentally sends them a 15 millimeter polisher, and it's like, nope, this is not what I ordered. And then they send it back, and then we're like, okay, well, we can't put this in inventory now. So tent sale. Unfortunately, on a VW bus, there's 21 windows. So it's a lot of glass polish.
Yeah.
Which is probably the most likely.
I quit and resumed the stream, so they should be reconnecting, hopefully.
Okay.
If that doesn't help,
Then we're just going to work on the car.
yeah.
Because we got to get Tyson ready. At least half of his car.
Hey, sounds like people are seeing us again.
Oh, let's go.
Sorry, everybody. We had
'Kay.
to kill YouTube and restart it.
No excuses, but it wasn't our fault. Contact your local Google person. It was their fault. So I just jumped in, and I'm kind of doing the same thing I was doing on the outside, because I think a lot of the clarity was missing from the inside. I imagine like this glass has probably never ever been polished with anything. And so, I'm just kind of freshening it up. I'm not trying to do anything too crazy, but it feels like the clarity of the glass is starting to come back a little bit. And especially like this, these original planes of glass. It's just making it look so much better.
5151 SRT boy says, is the new odor neutralizer smell like pumpkin spice?
Is the new odor neutralizer smell like pumpkin spice? We, if it's like in the standard label, then no, it doesn't. But we have a limited edition pumpkin spice odor neutralizer, but the only way to get it is to order a mystery bucket during the pumpkin spice sale. So you order the, and by the way, like the mystery bucket, you order, it's $69.99, so it's like $70, and you are guaranteed $120 or more of product inside of that mystery bucket. And so it's a pretty good deal. And plus you end up getting the pumpkin spice odor neutralizer with that as well. So it's a pretty good deal, you know, and I think they're also even throwing in like some other random pumpkin spice products. But I think they're definitely throwing in like the pumpkin spice total interior cleaner. So pretty good deal, to be honest. But yeah, the one specific to the mystery bucket has, I might finish this part a little bit later, but the one in the mystery bucket has the pumpkin spice odor neutralizer in it. So okay, I can't wait to see this. I gotta finish some in the back, but oh yeah, that is significantly better. I love that. Okay, so again, like the clarity is back. There might be a little bit of haziness from the original, and honestly, like some of this haziness could be like on a double plane on the inside that I could never fix, and it's not worth replacing this because it's original glass. So like, you know, getting it, like standing back here and looking and being able to see through that glass nice and clear, like it looks a lot better to me. Like we're bringing the clarity back on all of this glass. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another, actually I'll just use the same towel I was using because it's not like crazy dirty. And I'm going to grab my tire and rubber cleaner. Okay, and what I'm going to do is address this rubber molding. So you just spray about 3 sprays into the edgeless utility towel, and then you just rub it onto the molding. And what happens with rubber and plastic on vehicles is the sun oxidizes the rubber especially and the plastic, and it starts to make it look kind of chalky and it starts to wear down. And you can see like all that oxidation from the rubber is coming off into my towel. And so I just went over that a couple times. I'll do it one more time, but you just switch to a fresh part of the towel and just, I'm kind of like working my way down the towel like this. So I'm just going to go to here. We'll go over it one more time. I like to do it twice because there's sometimes where I just don't get it in the right spot. So it still looks a little bit like inconsistent. And so like on this one, I'm just being a little bit more thoughtful on like where I'm using the towel to scrub, maybe like more in the corner, things like that. So you can see there's still a ton coming off, but like if you can, it's hard to see, but like the difference between this and this is this looks very even and nice. And this looks like it's kind of like chalky throughout. And so I just switched to another fresh part of the towel like this. And then I'll go over the rubber on here. And it doesn't necessarily require you to like push super hard and scrub and scrub and scrub, but to get the product on there and go over it with the towel is really what I'm trying to do here. So the reason, you know, I'm really just trying to even this out, make it look cool.
Will we be using metal polish 1 and 2 on this car?
Yeah, we are going to use some metal polish 1 and 2. Probably get to that here pretty soon. I'm going to finish kind of some of this rubber molding here, like that. Oh yeah. And then I'll move to this one. I think 3 sprays is what's working for me right now. We'll go like that. I can't really reach in there, so, you know, I think if anything, what I would end up doing is, if I was going to do this process, I'd probably close these windows, you know, like, I wonder if I could just go like this. And then I can access this part of the rubber molding. Yeah. This car has needed this for so long. So you can see some of it dried in here, but like as soon as I spray wax and wipe that, this is gonna come off right here. You know, so that's kind of why I'm doing this process now instead of waiting until after I even out the waterless wash residue that we had before. And then like probably what I will end up doing is like taking, I'll show you here in a second, after I get this and this part of the molding done. I'm gonna need to do the front eventually, but for time's sake, because it's what? Yeah. Okay, go like that. Move to this part. Hopefully this isn't too boring. This is like, I personally love doing this process because the rubber and the plastic discolor so much that it's like glaringly obvious when you like get your whole car shiny and perfect and then like the trim looks nasty. You know, it's like such an easy fix of like what I'm doing right now that it's worth it every single time. So you can see how much of the oxidation we're taking off on this, you know, and then like I'll probably finish this off camera, but again, like there's so much rubber molding on this because there's so many windows on this car that going through and just hitting each one like so. You guys got any questions during this portion? If you do, feel free to ask. If not, I'm happy to just entertain you by cleaning. The other thing was gonna tell you guys is I do have a video that's kind of slated here pretty soon, but I had a request for how to talk about like removing odors in your car, and I was gonna do that video, but I'm kind of getting into the time right now where I need to start prepping my car for winter. So I was gonna do almost like a 4-part series on my personal car because it's in, you know, I have been neglecting it a lot, but I need to go through my process of like how to get it prepped for winter. And so I was thinking about kind of starting next week of starting that process of like from the very beginning of like I just pull it straight up here, and you know, we start from the beginning of washing and doing all that stuff all the way to the 1-step polish and ceramic coating and all that stuff before I go into winter. In tire armor, I do that before I go into winter. So if you guys are interested in starting that next week, just leave it in the comment. But if you next week want me to do the odor neutralizer or like removing odors from inside your car before we start the winter prep, I'm happy to do that as well. So just let me know. So one thing you can do after you're done doing like the molding on the glass is then you can take a block applicator and our VRT or graphene VRT, either one works. I think the graphene VRT is going to last a little bit longer, but then you just put a little bit like this onto the applicator.
What does VRT stand for?
Vinyl, rubber, trim, and tires. V is vinyl, R is rubber, T is trim and tires. And so it's a dressing to enhance the look of all of those surfaces that we just named. Okay, so we take this, if you see I evened it into the applicator. So now I can take this and I can enhance the look of the trim. So it's like, it might be hard to see in camera, but it's chalky here and then it's like perfectly jet black over there. Okay, so and actually it's kind of a cool product. This product's been in the Adams Polishes line for a really long time. And like when I first started here, this was the only way to make trim look good. We didn't have ceramic coating or any of that stuff. So every time that I washed my car, I would go through with VRT and treat the trim, and it would always look brand new every single time. You know, so this is a really good product to use for this.
A lot of people are liking the winter prep idea.
Winter prep, okay. I'll plan on doing that next week. I just don't, someone requested that like odor video, and I want to honor them by doing it. I just,
Sounds like people want to do that too, but I
Yeah.
think that could happen after winter prep.
Okay. And I want you guys to understand too, the winter prep thing is something I would take like a Saturday to do. Should take just like a few hours. But because of the live, we're in a time constraint of, you know, an hour to an hour and a half segment, then I'll probably get as far as I can with that process. Oh, I'm not cleaning it. What am I doing? And then like we'll just leave off where we started from like where we end like next week, you know. But I think it'd be kind of cool to, and I'll have to be pretty conscious about like how I do it, because if I'm right in the middle of like polishing or something, I'd want to protect my car in case. But
Anton says, "Good thing I don't need to do winter prep here."
yeah, right, Anton.
In the Philippines.
That's so messed up, dude.
I don't think there's a lot of.
He needs to
snow
do
in the
like hurricane
Philippines.
prep.
I could be wrong, but I don't think it snows much.
Yeah,
there.
I don't think it snows in the Philippines.
I think if it snows in the Philippines, there's bigger problems than your car.
Yeah, that's no doubt. That is no doubt. Okay. I kind of overloaded this applicator with product, and so now I'm just kind of trying to thin it out into my applicator.
Ken Wilson says, "Yeah, what's winter?"
Winter? Hey, winter.
Californians.
I know, dude. It's all right. Kim Wilson can go get winter up at like Mammoth or Big Bear. Tahoe's a little far for him.
I forgot where in California he is, to be honest.
He's in like near LA.
Oh, okay.
I highly recommend Tahoe. I grew up going there.
Sorry, it's just a nice car. Oh, nice minivan.
Yeah, you can look at it. I
You're
don't.
good.
I didn't want to interrupt your video.
I like how you called it a minivan.
We're live.
It's kind of cool.
Was I right?
It's like a VW bus.
That's what I. Okay.
Yeah. This is not a van. This is a bus. All right.
What year?
67.
Beautiful.
Yeah. That trim looks way better. I mean, it's probably, you can't really tell on camera, but like
It's very
from
hard.
here, it looks a lot better. It looks a little bit more rich. And I actually have a ton of excess, like it's like shiny that I put too much on. So just the weight of my hand, I'm taking this towel and I'm just going over it to kind of even it out, which is a little bit difficult to see, but I just don't want too much sitting on there. There we go. Okay. All right, so now what I would do after I do that, I'm kind of saving the spray wax part for like the very end. So the next thing I would do is I would take this towel that's all crappy now with oxidation, which by the way, we'll just wash this and I can use it again for kind of the same process. This will probably end up staining black a little bit into the towel. Doesn't mean it's ruined. It just means like if I pull a towel out of my folded laundry stuff and I see all of this, I know that this towel is what I'm going to use the next time I clean rubber and plastic. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'll take the towel and I'm going to fold it a couple times. Once long ways, and then once again like this. And instead of folding it this way, I'm going to almost like fold it into smaller panels like this. It's like 1 and 2 like that. Okay. So essentially it's like how big my fingers are, my two fingers. You could do 3, but I like having 2. And we take the tire and rubber cleaner and I'm going to come down here and we're going to try to get all of this stuff. What?
You should do 50-50.
Okay. Chris is requesting a 50-50. So because I folded it, I can absorb more of the product into the towel. So I sprayed, I don't know, call it 8 sprays. And now I'm just going to take this and I'm going to scrub this tire. Now, the way this tire looks, it feels like it's a little bit of a new tire. There's some like mold release agent on it, which is more of like kind of this white stuff here. The brown stuff could potentially be like, it could be tire blooming or it could be old tire dressing. So you can see how much I'm pulling off of this. Okay, probably a little bit more of like tire blooming and maybe old tire dressing, but I do think this is mold release agent, this white stuff that was never removed. Okay, so go over it one more time. And when tires are like this bad, then you almost need to do it, scrub it like 2 or 3 times. Now, I want to address the white walls, but if I use this part of the towel or this part of the towel, it's going to make them look not good. So I'm going to flip to a more fresh side of the towel. I'll just go like this to this side. And now, with just kind of the, I'm not going to scrub super hard, but I'm just going to go over the white walls.
If anyone joined us in the middle, do you want to explain again why we're not using a hose and pressure washer on this vehicle?
Yeah.
That's normally how we would do wheels and tires.
Yeah, if you kind of joined recently, we're doing more of like a waterless washing treatment for this car because it's kind of like a weekend warrior type of car, you know, like, Tyson has a car show coming up. And so we're kind of getting it ready for that. But like this car isn't necessarily going to go like win awards for the most part. And so the thing about it is that this almost needs to be like scrubbed. Like with, this would be kind of the one thing I would potentially not do like waterless washing. I would potentially like actually clean this, but you can kind of see a before and after from like here to here. But essentially what we're doing is like getting this ready to be presentable this weekend for a car show. But these are the kind of things that I would do during the week. So like if you're going to take this car out for like a Sunday drive or a Saturday cruise with your family or friends, then I would go through this process I'm doing to just make it, you want it to look as presentable as possible. And like the thing about it too is, we all take pride in these vehicles, but I think the thing about this too is like this thing is going to have a ton of eyeballs on it. People are going to be googly eyed over this thing because it's a 67. It's a little bit more rare. You don't see these on the road very often. And so, if you're going to have it out showing it off, it's kind of one of those things where like you do want to get it looking in its best light,
But we're not using a hose because of the age of the vehicle.
We're not using a hose because of the age of the vehicle for the most part, but the main reason is it's like not dirty enough. This isn't getting dirty like the way a daily driven vehicle gets. So you can still achieve the same thing in a little bit of time without needing to like set up, your pressure washer and your hose and all this stuff, That is so much better. I dig that. I'm going to switch to another fresh side of the towel and do more of the white wall. Okay. Yeah, there's some stubborn like tire blooming in the tread. And if you really needed to, you could take like our trim and lug nut brush, spray it directly in there, and then like brush it and remove the tire blooming from inside of the tread. That's something you could do. But I don't know if you can show them like that versus that. That looks a lot better. Huh? Yeah, I think it's like, I don't know. It looks like what rubber's supposed to look like.
Your rubber, yeah.
Yeah. even though new rubber doesn't always look amazing, but. So I'm just gonna quickly do this one. This one's a little bit more difficult. You can see like the fender kind of cuts the tire off like halfway into the top part of the tire. So what I would do the same thing with that one, but after I finish scrubbing these areas, I would just throw it in neutral and like push it back a little bit so it exposes this part that I can't see, and then I would finish doing that.
Let's do a second. I want to do the metal polish.
In a second, yeah. For some people too, like what I'm doing right now is more than enough for their tire to be jet black, right? So like if you're happy with the way the tire came out with just scrubbing it with tire and rubber cleaner, then you can leave it, because you know, for the most part, like back in 1967, they didn't exactly have Adams Polish's graphene tire dressing. You know, if they even had tire dressing at all. They really, like, kind of back in those days, they had rags that had oil on them from working on the engines, and to make their tires look really nice, they would just take their oil rag and they go whoop, like this, and that's what would dress the tires. And that's kind of like, as it got later into the 80s, people wanted shinier tires, so that's why then silicone came into the mix, and now like heavy gloss tire shines are made from straight silicone. But the problem with silicone excuse me, the problem with silicone is that silicone oxidizes brown. So you see a lot of cars where people keep slapping on like high shine tire shine and they never clean it off, so then it starts to turn brown and they're like, my tires are dirty. And it's like, no, the old tire dressing is oxidized, is what the problem is. And so, and the other thing with like high gloss tire shines is if they don't like fully dry on, they sling all over your car. Excuse me. And Adams Polish's tire dressings are completely dry to the touch. And so because they're dry to the touch, they're not going to sling all over the car. And so that's like a really important thing when we have developed our tire dressings, is to make sure that it goes completely dry to the touch and it doesn't sling, and it keeps the car looking great. So, okay, so now, I wonder if, don't really have anything. Now what I want to do, I need waterless wash for a second. I just want to get, I might just use a borderless gray. I want to get the hubcap nice and clean. So I'm just going to spray waterless wash on, and I'm just going to wipe this down.
I feel like you're looking at like a Beastie Boys video.
Right? Yeah. By the way, I love the Beastie Boys. He said it looks like I'm going to do a Beastie Boys video in this, like.
Yeah.
So what you want? What you want?
Hey, look how shiny those are just from that.
That's pretty easy. So let's see if, I don't even think, to be honest, like, I'm not even sure really if metal polish is going to do anything to this. Because it already looks pretty good. But because they already look so shiny, I don't feel like I need to do metal polish 1. Like, there's no reason to do metal polish 1 when they already look that clear. But to enhance the clarity, we can do some metal polish 2. And
Do you want to describe the difference between 1 and 2?
in a second, yeah. So I don't need a lot. You don't need a lot. Actually, you got to shake it first. So you don't need a ton, just like a little bit like that. And metal polish 2, I'm trying to get clarity out of this, not fixing anything. And I'm actually curious too if these are like chrome plated. If I start doing this and this doesn't turn black, that means this is chrome plated. Okay. But we're about to see. But essentially, like metal polish 1 would be like Adams Polish's compound for machine polishing. and metal polish 2 would be like polish in the machine polishing process. So metal polish 1 does like the cutting and it like cuts through everything, and then metal polish 2 follows it up and like makes it finish perfect. So we'll take this, and if this is chrome as well, like the metal polish system works really good on chrome actually. Yeah, see? So these aren't even raw metal, not even like raw aluminum. They're probably aluminum and then they were chrome plated. Yep. Which is fine. So even with metal polish 2, we can bring some clarity to the chrome plating. But I'd be curious if this is chrome plated as well. Chrome plated. But I'm definitely pulling some stuff off of here. And I'm gonna try to find another spot on the car where you can see how the metal polish would react with non-chrome. So we'll go like that. And then I need to finish the cap here. Like this. Now, metal polish isn't something that you need to push super hard. It's like more about how many times you go over the surface. And I'd say like the magic number, however you want to think about it, like one pass would be like 1, and then 2, 3, 4, or you could go like over and back as 1. So if you're doing over and back as 1, going over it 10 times. If you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, then 20 times is like the magic number that you want to get. But you can generally see the clarity start to come back like as you do it. And once you see it gets to a point where it like you love it and it looks amazing, then take it. We'll wipe it off with a borderless gray, but I just want to check something really quick. Chrome. Let's see this one.
Rodney actually just said those headlight rings need metal polish.
Yeah. So when it turns black like that, it's metal, okay, not chrome. So this thing right here is metal 100%. And I'd be curious if this is too.
Like raw metal, no clear coat. just
Exactly, yeah. So let's see. That's metal as well. So on these, if you see, like it's very cloudy. So on this one, I would for sure use metal polish 1 because it's not super, the clarity is not there. So we're trying to restore the clarity. So we want to cut through that quite a bit. So we'll start with metal polish 1 first, like this.
Cheddar says that's why I don't like chrome.
Chrome, I mean, chrome looks great, man. Like, so again, this is like about how many times I go over it, not how hard I push. And just so you guys know, all I did was like, this side was metal polish 1 and this side's metal polish 2. So I can take the metal polish 2 and go directly over that. Like this. And the other thing you can do too, like I'm doing this by hand right now, but if you have the micro polisher that we sell, you can polish this with the machine for sure. And I would say, you know, like don't run it at a super high speed. Like setting 3 is kind of more than enough. But let's see how this came out.
Yeah, top of that versus the bottom already.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, that's like ridiculously good. Love that.
See the camera.
And even like on this chrome, going over it with metal polish too made it glow, you know? And probably right here I need to do it more, but yeah, I imagine this is chrome plated as well.
It's like magic, bro.
Magic, he said. Tyson, you ever seen the show on Netflix called Magic for Humans?
Magic what?
Magic for Humans?
No.
I highly recommend that to watch with your kids. It's so good.
Okay.
He convinced a guy that he disappeared.
That's awesome.
It's one of the best clips ever. Yeah. Okay, so oh, this is looking a lot better.
A million times.
I think it looks pretty good. So last thing, and I can, if we need to jump off, we can. Last thing I need to do is even everything out for the most part. I have a little bit more work to do, but spray wax time. So with the spray wax, you don't need to use a ton. Okay, I don't want to douse this thing because the towel is going to get overloaded. And so it's kind of like a few mist here and there. I'm kind of moving my hand as I use it like that. And then long, fast swipes as you wipe it. It will help break the product down and make it easier to remove and get it off of the car. So kind of like this. I even did it on the glass here. So you can see like long, fast swipes is the secret.
Dev N says, what can I put H2O garden gloss on top of? It says paint sealant has been out of stock.
Okay, Devin, that's a good, or Dev and N. Devin, you can put H2O garden gloss on a car that's never been protected if you want. Okay, so freshly clear coated or single stage paint car. You can even use H2O garden gloss as your standalone protection agent. You just, every fourth wash that you wash your car, third wash maybe, you do the water or the H2O garden gloss process, and it will continue to stay protected for essentially eternity of time. What I really like H2O garden gloss for is I like to use it on top of a ceramic coated vehicle because H2O garden gloss has some SiO2 or silica inside of it. And so the SiO2 will help the H2O garden gloss bond to the ceramic coating, and it's a great maintenance product. And it's kind of one of those things, like I kind of think H2O garden gloss is very useful in the process of which you do it, because it kind of cuts two things into one. So you're essentially drying your car and protecting it or boosting a ceramic coating like all at one time. You know, so it's a very, very unique process, which makes it very useful. But the other thing about H2O garden gloss is the shine that it provides is amazing. Like, it's one of the, I would say, you know, the process is a little unique, but the shine that it provides is, there's not a lot of products in our line that provide that, because it's such a thick layer going on to the car that it's almost like you could reach out and like grab the H2O off the car. It's like so thick. So I love it for that too.
Ken Wilson says H2O garden gloss works good on plastics as well.
Yeah, it does. That's a good point there, Ken. Yeah, it works amazing on plastic as well. It enriches the plastic and makes it look better. Plus, it also protects it. And, you know, H2O garden gloss can be used on the glass as well, and you'll see the water beading effect with H2O garden gloss on glass. So, you know, a while ago, before we had like graphene ceramic coating and all this stuff, I would actually wash my car with wash and wax, which has SiO2 in it, instead of wax. We totally lied on that product. But it has SiO2 in it, and I would use that as my wash, and then I would do the H2O garden gloss after that. And I would do that about every third wash, and it looked like my car was coated, because those two things working together was like amazing. And if I needed to, I could even like hit it with CS3 after, like at that time it was ceramic boost. And that would make the water jump off of my car just with those 3 like simple products. And so, you know, again, I think like there's a lot of talk about, you know, I think if you go online and research, I don't know if we say this very much. We know how popular ceramic coatings are. So we definitely like have ours, and we have all the resources for you to know how to apply them and everything around it. But, you know, if you're the kind of person that's like, I'm not going to ever ceramic coat my car, it's just not something that I'm going to do, then we have products like H2O Garden Gloss, Wash and Wax, and some other things. Slick and Slide is another spray and wipe like polymer sealant product. You can absolutely get your car almost looking like it's ceramic coated without actually needing to ceramic coat it, you know. But the thing about it, what I want you guys to realize is that, you know, the ceramic coating I think is a little bit easier to maintain because it lasts so much longer on the car. Whereas like H2O Garden Gloss lasts a few months. So that's why I said, like, let's say you washed your car every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, you know, on the 3rd wash would be about 3 months down the road, 2.5 months, and you do the H2O Garden Gloss process again, then it like resets your timeline, and then you like keep going with your car protected, you know? So if you like to do a lot of maintenance on your car and detailing at home, and it's something you really enjoy, like H2O Garden Gloss is a really, really great product and process because it's really easy to do. I can't wait to finish this mirror. Like, that came out insane. You know, I'll say this about what I just did today, but the thing about, especially like for me, my experience today is like, I don't know what this car needs. It's not my car, right? So what's happening to me is like, I'm starting to peel back layers. You know, it's like, I started scrubbing the tires, and then I'm like, now it's in the tread, to peel back a layer, and now it's like all tucked in the tread block. So now what I want to do is get the brush and scrub it all out. Like I think it'd be more useful if I hit that with water and then tire and rubber cleaner, and then use the trim and lug nut brush to get the browning out of the tread block, you know. But like the glass, you know, I started glass polishing the outside, and I'm like, well, I need to do it on the inside because it still looks a little hazy. And I started doing that, and now I'm like, okay, peel back the layer of polishing the exterior glass. Now I have another layer I got to peel back with polishing the inside of the glass, you know. So doing stuff like this, it's kind of like this weird, I call it like the detailing journey. It's like you start at one place and you're trying to end somewhere else, and the path you take to there, it can shift and move, you know. And I think part of what I work at Adams Polishes. I didn't start the company, and like, as much as I would love to say I'm a salesman, I'm more of like an educator. I want you guys to know the process of doing this stuff, because if you know the process, you can really use any product. But for us, I feel like Adams Polishes does a good job of providing all the tools you need for all these different processes, you know. And I think I showed that today, like, you know, not fix, but like to enhance the trim, the rubber molding on all the windows, and like make the tires look better. I use essentially one product with one towel, but like the metal polishing to make this more clear. But like for me now, when I look at this car, it's like glowing, and it's not even in the sun. We're on the shaded side, you know, so I can see a nice clear reflection of ourselves in the paint. The black on the tires looks more black, more rich in color. The trim looks more rich in color. The glass looks more clear. It's like, you know, we're sprucing this car up to be even more presentable as Tyson takes it out this weekend. And so I'm really happy with like how it's turning out. It looks really, really good. So, you know, I hope today was helpful. I'm going to finish the spray waxing process here on the front, and then there's so many little things that are bothering me, like the brown in the tread block, and then I know this is all brown up top here. I'll probably have Tyson move it just a little bit so I can do that. And then, you know, the last thing I didn't quite get to, but my last recommendation is like on his car. Chris, come here really quick. On Tyson's car, we go. If you look on the seats, I don't know, maybe they do want to see this, but if you look in here, this car is being enjoyed. Okay, so you can see like it looks like there's some food residue in here. If you can see that. If I could take this mat out, I would fully clean that with rubber mat and liner cleaner. But it looks like maybe someone spilled coffee, but there's like there's a little bit of dirt. And here's the thing about this car specifically is it's it has white interior. And so the white interior is gonna show everything just 100 times more. And so what I'm curious about, is Total Interior Cleaner, which is more of our cleaner product. I can just go through this whole car and like on this, the inside of this door specifically where there's food residue is, well, I don't know actually. It's working pretty good. Like this is like a mild cleaner, but I'm almost tempted. I would almost be tempted at my house if this was my car to grab leather and interior cleaner to like really deep clean it, because it like hasn't been done. But
Rodney said the best we've ever seen of Chris was in the paint of this car.
Yeah, there you go. Now you guys
so shiny.
Exactly, dude. He even has fall leaves in here. Dude, shout out to Pumpkin Spice. Probably because he leaves that open when he's hanging out. But like even on the seat, I'm curious to see like if so yeah, probably what I would do, and I'll show Tyson this, but like I would grab our interior scrubbing mitt. I grab leather and interior cleaner. I would douse this and I would use the scrubbing mitt. And all those little fibers of the scrubbing mitt would end up getting into the texture of the seats and the door panels. And it would really deep clean this. It would make this interior glow. And then, you know, this is almost 100% vinyl, right? Because this is a bus, you know, this isn't like, they're not going to put crazy high-end leather in this. Maybe they did, but I doubt it. But you could even go over it with leather conditioner to like make it enhance the look of it a little bit. But if anything, what I would do is I would hit it with leather and interior cleaner to cut through all the grime and nastiness. And then I would follow it up with interior detailer, which is also going to enhance it. And the thing about interior detailer is like, we have so many scents that you could pick the scent that you want for this. I'd probably pick Sweet Pea for this one because it's like a flower child vehicle, you know, and I would make this thing smell like flowers on the inside, and now it just fits the kind of era and mold of what this car is. So I'll probably show Tyson that here in a second. But as we sign off, you can see the glass super dirty back here. This is kind of what we started with, the condition of it. And then as you make it to this side, you can see, you know, close to where we got it, even though there's still a lot of work. And depending on Tyson's timing, I might do a little more work on this, but I'm pretty pumped for that. I think it looks pretty good. What do you think?
I love it. Dude.
Yeah?
I love it. She's shining again.
Yeah. And it's something to do.
Something you're proud of showing off.
You know, I'm not just sitting on my couch watching golf YouTube.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'll have it on in the garage just so you can watch it and do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
At least listen to it.
Exactly. But it feels pretty good. The spray wax always makes it feel like buttery smooth.
And I don't know if your viewers know, everything smells good.
Yeah.
So like while you're working on it, you're happy.
Yeah.
It looks good, it smells good, it
Yep.
feels good.
I was just telling him, like, I'm going to show you some stuff on the inside, but like we have it's essentially this product. Oh, you have some
So you're
of it.
working on it.
Yeah, you have some of it, but we have a Sweet Pea one that's like, I'm like, it's perfect. It's like a flower child vehicle, Sweet Pea, like it just goes together. But
Nope, I love it, dude. She's shining again.
yeah, thanks
I
for
gotta do the other side now.
Not yet.
Yeah,
It's only Wednesday.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I
But
got time.
yeah, thank you guys for watching. Check out Pumpkin Spice on the website. And again, if you want to win a deionizer, get a Pumpkin Spice mystery bucket for $69.99. Get you $120 worth of stuff. you know 2 things you're gonna get, which is pumpkin spice odor neutralizer and total interior cleaner. But other than that, you'll probably get some favorites like wheel and tire cleaner, whatever it is. But it enters you in for a chance to win that deionizer. And we're gonna keep doing giveaways all week. So make sure you guys tune in on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the, I don't know, I'm old, so MySpace. But yeah, just stay connected with us and we'll do giveaways. But the pumpkin spice stuff this year looks really good, and make sure you grab yours. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.